Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Robyn Brown, star of Sister Wives, has been involved in numerous scandals over the years. Many fans are angry at her for acting like a victim after the 3 other spouses left, but many also hold her responsible for the Brown family's demise. The family has been going through a very trying time since Garrison's untimely death. However, a lot of people are unhappy with Robyn's handling of her sadness at Garrison's funeral. To see the discussion, continue reading. Is Robyn Brown separating her children from the rest of the family in Sister Wives? Cody's suspicious conduct of isolating himself from his older children may have been triggered by Robyn's well-known practice of separating her children from the rest of the family. Michael T had already brought it up in one of her live streams. The way she and Cody behaved during the family's reunion in Wyoming to lay Garrison's ashes also infuriated a lot of fans. Some claim that Robyn and Cody treated their road trip as if it were a vacation, with Cody talking about himself all the time. However, a few of people are criticizing Robyn for doing far worse when they were burying Garrison. Did Robyn express her sadness at Garrison's funeral? On social media, a few Sister Wives fans talked about Robyn Brown's actions during Garrison's funeral. The billboard claims that everyone was crying as they placed their unique memento on Garrison's grave. However, Robyn grabbed a handful of soil and tossed it onto the grave before leaving as if nothing had occurred. The OP believed that Robyn was acting out her anguish because of her performance. Additionally, according to the poster, Robyn didn't say a single thing that was sincere. Others concurred and took issue with Robyn's frequent use of the term hole to describe Garrison's grave. I found it incredibly bothersome because she kept calling the grave the hole. Digging the hole meant a lot to Cody. Please show some respect for what it is. She lacks style. She questioned Aurora, "How are you feeling after being dunked?" in a similar manner. "I was crying like a baby while telling my kid that this is the only episode in which Robyn didn't cry. Most likely didn't want to get into contact with the dirt. She might damage her nails." Sister Wives. Robyn Brown's divisive remark following his knowledge of Garrison's death. Robyn had already raised some eyebrows during the family's grieving process over Garrison's death. The Sister Wives star disclosed how she found out about Garrison's untimely demise in the previous episode. When Cody told her what had transpired, she disclosed that she was working. However, Robyn Brown was called out by several admirers on social media who wanted to know what she was working on. Robyn's lack of employment is well known, particularly since she shut down her jewelry company. Robyn, however, is also among the most costly of the other wives, amassing hundreds of American Girl dolls. I believed she might have been working on expanding her collection of dolls. The nanny does the same thing. She wasn't carrying out the order for which Mary has been harassed. I might have yelled, "Doing what?" at the television. For all your updates, return to TV shows Ace if you're searching for more Sister Wives news. Gabe Brown, the son of Janelle Brown, seems eager to share everything about his life. Fans will probably hear his version of the tale. The Sister Wives star seemed eager to engage with fans more and share more details about his experience. Gabe maintained a modest presence on social media and never disclosed many details about his life. He had, however, seldom ever posted any updates on Instagram or been active on the platform. Following the death of his brother, Garrison Brown, the reality TV personality vanished entirely. In order to move on from the tragedy and continue on with his life, Gabe took his time. To finish his education and begin a new life, he traveled to Chicago. Recently, the reality TV personality has also begun disclosing more information about his life. Where will he divulge all of his life secrets? Will he discuss the dysfunctional Brown family? Sister Wives. Gabe acknowledges leading his most odd life. Gabe Brown, star of Sister Wives, prefers to live a solitary life. Almost never does she post updates on social media. The reality TV personality had a hard time getting over Garrison's suicide. Thus, it took Gabe a while to get back to his regular routine. To further his own career, he moved to Chicago. At last, he went back to social media to post encouraging life updates. The TLC personality posted a video of himself enjoying a good time with his favorite folks, laughing. In the video, Gabe displayed his joy and was in a terrific mood. "Thank you for all the love and support, everyone," he added. Additionally, he acknowledged that the new city was where he led his corniest life. Fans were therefore pleased that the reality TV star was making his own decisions and had a contented life. What has he been doing lately? Sister Wives. Gabe assures supporters he will talk about his life. Gabe Brown, star of Sister Wives, has been making significant progress in his profession. He seems prepared to be open and honest about everything in his life. The reality TV star recently posted a self-portrait on Instagram. Before welcoming his fans and delivering the announcement, Gabe experienced shyness. He was enjoying a drink at a restaurant when someone videotaped him. For his admirers, the TLC personality announced that he will be joining Cameo. Announcing that he would be sharing birthdays, anniversaries, and maybe a little tea, Gabe was thrilled. On the platform, he would also post reviews on cuisine. According to Janelle's son, "This is just a start. I can't wait to meet you all." The screenshot of Gabe's recent announcement was provided by a Redditor. "Looks like Gabe made a cameo," the original poster wrote. In the video, he appears so content and carefree. Fans, like his brothers, were thrilled to see him create films and share details of his life. They were prepared to purchase videos from him as well. Additionally, the reality TV personality only bills $40 for his customized videos. "I honestly don't want SWT from him. I want Gabe T," one fan commented. "Is he in a relationship? How come he's in Chicago? Does he attend school?" An additional user was prepared to help him and see his happiness. Other people were also curious about Janelle's son's tea. They are eager to find out if the Sister Wives star has made any significant life changes or met someone new. One of the most poignant episodes of Sister Wives Season 19 has just released. The family has been grieving Garrison's untimely death. The family was seen in the most recent episode transporting Garrison's ashes to his ultimate resting place in Wyoming. However, many people were drawn to Garrison's Uncle Tim's remarks. Read on to find out what transpired. Sister Wives. The reunion of the Brown family. The most recent episode opened with Janelle and her children getting back together. Although she was thrilled to have everyone there, the reunion to bury Garrison's ashes was also a sorrowful occasion. The kids of Janelle and Christine also spent some time together and went fishing. Cody and his family started excavating his son's grave a short while after. Cody stated in his interview that he wishes to do everything in his power to honor his son. Many Sister Wives fans, however, were offended by this and told Cody that he ought to have paid tribute to his son when he was still living. Fans' thoughts on Uncle Tim's eulogy. On social media, some Sister Wives fans talked about Uncle Tim, Cody's brother-in-law, and his remarks at Garrison's funeral. They saw that Tim's opening statements were lifted from the film The Princess Bride, according to the poster. They speculated that Garrison might be a big admirer of the movie because he even tossed a priest's lisp. Uncle Tim's Hawaiian, which is renowned for being among Garrison's favorite outfits, was also praised by the OP. It served as a reminder to him of Garrison's upbeat disposition despite the seriousness all around him. Additionally, he spoke of a father's regret and a mother's grief. "I felt that Cody made a rather wise decision with this call. He kind of called Cody out in the remainder of his lecture when he said that you should be a person who shows up for people so that they will eventually gather for you. It was honest. It wasn't particularly pointed, but it did fit the plot, and Tim captured Garrison's essence throughout. I thought he did a great job in the position, even offering his thoughts and gently pointing out lessons that may be learned from this and I recognized it right away and assumed it was appropriate for Garrison, haha." Indeed. Older millennials and Gen Zers are well acquainted with the Princess Bride's marriage speech. Uncle Tim did a great job of introducing himself to ease the tension and to mention a movie that the siblings probably loved. My goodness, that was the ideal homage. So deeply depressing. Sister Wives. Garrison is honored by Paedon Brown. The funeral service was emotionally charged. As they give Garrison their parting words, many family members can be heard sobbing in the background. But Paedon's dedication brought a smile to everyone's face. Garrison and the Sister Wives star traded military tags. The family was taken aback, however, when he made his brother a final drink. Given that they were both in the military, Paedon disclosed in his interview that Garrison was a significant influence on his life. Robyn Brown performed her grief at Garrison's burial. Fans say her tears were for the cameras, not the son she barely knew. In a moment that should have been defined by solemn reflection and quiet sorrow, Robyn Brown's appearance at Garrison Brown's burial has sparked outrage and disbelief across the Sister Wives fanbase, with many asking the same gut-wrenching question: was her grief genuine, or just a performance? As the sun set over the desert and the Brown family gathered to say goodbye to 25-year-old Garrison, whose tragic passing rocked every corner of the plural family dynamic, viewers couldn't help but notice how heavily the cameras lingered on Robyn. Not Mary, not Janelle, not Christine, not even Cody. It was Robyn, dabbing her eyes, trembling in silence, casting sorrowful looks at the casket, as though her heart was splintering in front of the world. But for many longtime fans, the moment didn't sit right. Not because grief isn't allowed to be raw and visible, but because Robyn Brown's grief didn't feel real. It felt like a role she stepped into the moment the lens focused on her. What made the moment so difficult to digest is how disconnected Robyn had been from Garrison's life in the years leading up to his death. In fact, the distance was glaring. Garrison had been vocal, publicly and privately, about his strained relationship with his father, Cody Brown, and by extension, Cody's favorite wife, Robyn. Many viewers will recall how Garrison openly criticized the family's pandemic rules, how he called out favoritism, and how he pushed back against what he saw as the breakdown of family unity once Robyn entered the equation. He felt alienated, excluded, and unimportant. And while Cody doubled down on his loyalty to Robyn and her children, Garrison felt like he was pushed further and further out of the picture, eventually leading to a painful, extended estrangement that many believe played a role in his emotional spiral. So, when Robyn Brown showed up at Garrison's funeral dressed in black and full of tears, fans weren't convinced. In fact, many took to online forums to express how staged her grief appeared, how calculated her expressions looked, how perfectly timed her breakdowns were to match camera angles. She made it about herself, one commenter wrote. It was like she wanted the audience to believe she loved him like a son, but anyone who watched the last 5 seasons knows the truth. She didn't even try to know him. Others said the burial scene felt more like a performance of remorse than an authentic outpouring of sorrow. Notably, Robyn barely spoke about Garrison during his life, even when tensions between Cody and his sons were boiling. She didn't advocate for reconciliation. She didn't visit. She didn't step in like a mother figure. And now, with cameras rolling and the nation grieving alongside the Browns, she appeared front and center, as if she had earned that role. The situation is made even more complicated by the fact that Robyn's tears stood in stark contrast to Janelle's raw, quiet devastation. Janelle, Garrison's biological mother, had no need to perform. She didn't speak loudly. She didn't linger in the spotlight. She grieved like a mother does, with a shattered heart and silent strength. The difference between Janelle's agony and Robyn's theatrical sobs only fueled the fire. Many felt that Robyn's appearance at the burial, while technically appropriate as a family member, carried with it a heavy weight of hypocrisy. Where was Robyn when Garrison was struggling? Where was she when he needed family support? When he was crying out for connection? You can't show up at someone's funeral and cry like you loved them when in life you let them feel unloved, one fan wrote, capturing the mood of a community still stunned by the loss. Some viewers have suggested that Robyn's grief may not have been entirely fake, but rather rooted in guilt, not genuine love. This interpretation opens up a complicated, darker emotional layer. Perhaps Robyn's tears were real, but not for Garrison, for herself. Grief for what she didn't do. Grief for what she enabled. Grief for her role in the family's collapse. After all, Robyn had long been accused of driving a wedge between Cody and his older children. Her insistence on isolating during the pandemic was cited by multiple Brown children as a catalyst for emotional distance. She created a safe haven with Cody and her kids, while the rest of the family unraveled, abandoned emotionally, and left to cope with the fallout. If Robyn is crying now, Perhaps it's because she sees what her silence and complicity helped create, and that is its own tragedy. Still, there are those who remain sympathetic to Robyn, arguing that grief is complex, and that just because Robyn wasn't Garrison's biological mother doesn't mean she didn't care. They point out that complicated families often grieve in complicated ways, and that Robyn may have felt grief for Cody's loss, for her children's pain, and for the tragedy itself, even if her bond with Garrison wasn't close. But even that charitable view doesn't absolve her of the broader critique, that she is often too performative, too polished, too ready to cry when it suits the narrative. And in the sacred space of a young man's burial, a moment that should be about Garrison and those who truly knew and loved him, her grief felt too convenient, too sudden, too theatrical to trust. It's also worth noting how Cody responded in comparison. His grief, too, was polarizing. Some saw flashes of genuine pain. Others said he looked like a man grappling with regret rather than sorrow. But even Cody, controversial as he may be, had a longer and more direct connection to Garrison than Robyn ever did. The same cannot be said for Robyn, who never took public accountability for her role in alienating the other Brown children and never made public overtures of peace or understanding toward Janelle's sons. And now, in the wake of Garrison's tragic passing, it seems all too easy for Robyn to step into the spotlight, not as a mourner, but as a misunderstood figure seeking sympathy. The question fans keep asking is this: what would Garrison think? Would he have wanted Robyn standing over his casket with tears streaming down her face? Would he have believed those tears were for him? Or would he have seen right through it, just as he did in life? Garrison was nothing if not candid. He called things out. He didn't sugarcoat. He wasn't afraid to say that he felt betrayed by his father's choices and disrespected by the favoritism shown to Robyn's side of the family. It's hard to believe that he would welcome a show of grief from someone who, in his eyes, never showed up when it counted. Ultimately, whether Robyn Brown's tears were real, manipulative, guilt-driven, or symbolic of a deeper regret, the reaction to her behavior at Garrison's burial speaks volumes. It's about trust. It's about authenticity. And it's about the consequences of relationships left unattended. Robyn may have wanted to appear heartbroken, and perhaps on some level, she was, but to millions of Sister Wives viewers, the performance felt hollow, like a scene carefully constructed for the benefit of public perception rather than private sorrow. And now, as the dust settles and the family begins to pick up the pieces, Robyn's role in the greater Brown narrative is under harsher scrutiny than ever before. Sister Wives, Gabe Brown is ready to tell all. Will share his side of story with fans. In a twist that could shake the foundation of the entire Sister Wives franchise, Gabe Brown is finally ready to speak his truth, and fans are bracing themselves for the emotional bombshells he might drop. After years of staying in the shadows, watching his family crumble from behind a curtain of pain, silence, and betrayal, Gabe has reportedly reached a breaking point, and sources close to the situation say he's preparing to go public with his side of the story. With the shocking and tragic passing of his beloved brother Garrison still fresh in everyone's hearts, Gabe's grief has collided with a long-suppressed fury, and he is no longer willing to stay quiet while the world continues to misunderstand the truth of what really happened inside the Brown household. For years, the spotlight has been pointed at Cody, Robyn, and Christine. Mary and Janelle have shared bits and pieces. But Gabe has stayed relatively silent, until now. And if the whispers are true, the emotional reckoning he's about to unleash could finally expose the real pain behind the Brown family's fractured image. Fans who have followed Gabe's journey since childhood remember a bright, soft-spoken, funny young man who often took a backseat in the crowded Brown household. But that changed dramatically during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Gabe emerged as one of Cody's most vocal critics, challenging his father's increasingly rigid, and many felt, hypocritical rules. Gabe wasn't afraid to confront Cody head-on about the uneven treatment between families. He cried on camera. He told the truth. He begged for time with his dad. And what did he get in return? Silence. Stonewalling. And eventually, estrangement. That heartbreaking moment when Gabe revealed that Cody had forgotten his birthday and never even apologized, broke millions of hearts across the nation. But what fans didn't see was how deeply that moment affected him behind the scenes. Now, with Garrison gone, Gabe is said to be done protecting the legacy of a father who, in his words, abandoned the sons he didn't favor. Speculation about Gabe going public with a tell-all began just days after Garrison's passing. While Janelle and Christine shared their raw heartbreak on social media, and Cody and Robyn offered carefully worded statements, Gabe remained eerily quiet. Some fans thought it was grief. Others suspected something bigger was brewing.